The majority of individuals are hesitant to fully express themselves. They fear accepting the parts of themselves that may not be viewed as socially acceptable, as doing so would make them uncomfortable. To avoid this discomfort, they divide themselves into two parts: the conscious and the unconscious. In the conscious half, they construct an ideal image of themselves, utilizing the positive aspects of their past experiences that they view as desirable and acceptable. Conversely, in the unconscious half, they repress the negative aspects of themselves that they consider to be unacceptable or bad. This repressed aspect of the personality is referred to as the shadow in Jungian psychology. Unless this shadow is integrated into one's personality, one cannot attain their full potential. Imagine you have always dreamed of being a professional musician. You play an instrument and sing, but you've never performed in front of others. You have convinced yourself that you have an amazing voice and are a talented musician. One day, your friend invites you to perform at a small gig with them. You hesitate because you're afraid of what might happen if you don't sound as good as you think you do. You're worried that if you perform and fail, you'll have to face the reality that you're not as good as you thought you were. In this scenario, you have two options. The first option is to avoid the situation altogether and continue living in your idealized fantasy of being a talented musician. You'll never know if you have what it takes to make it in the music industry, and you'll never improve your skills or learn from your mistakes. The second option is to face your fears and perform at the gig. You might not sound as good as you thought you did, but you'll learn from the experience and have the opportunity to improve your skills. You might even discover that you have strengths in areas you didn't realize before. The point is, we often cling to our idealized self-image because it's comfortable and safe. But in order to truly reach our potential and live a fulfilling life, we need to confront our fears and face the reality of who we are. Many of us prefer to imagine our potential rather than actively working towards it. When we strive towards a goal, we become aware of our limitations and weaknesses, and this can be daunting. It is much easier to hold on to the belief that we could be something if we wanted to, rather than confront our limitations and work towards improving ourselves. By integrating our shadow and accepting our flaws and weaknesses, we can become more complete and whole individuals. It's not always easy, but the rewards are worth it in the end. In essence, if we reject our shadow and only focus on the positive aspects of ourselves, we become incomplete and partial individuals. We may live a life of regret, always wondering what could have been. On the other hand, if we accept and integrate our shadow, we become whole and complete, capable of living a fulfilling life. The path towards self-improvement begins with self-acceptance, which means embracing both the positive and negative aspects of ourselves.